It is great to be with you here today. Today marks 100 days since the start of one of the worst natural disasters in U.S. history. It's really hard to believe it's been 100 days. I know, Councilwoman, sometimes it must feel like it's been months and months. And then on the other hand, it can feel like it's just been a few days. But in 100 days, it's been 100 days of resilience, 100 days of a community and our city refusing to give up. 100 days of inspiration, not just across the city, but across the country and across the world, as everyone has watched what happened here and how we are in the process of restoring and rebuilding this community. Just last week, I was here across the street at the Palisades Rec Center to announce a new public-private partnership with the Lakers coach, J.J. Redick, and with his foundation, LA Strong Sports, and Rick Caruso's Steadfast LA to redesign and rebuild the rec center. After the fires were out, I came here with other people from the Palisades, and we talked about this area right here. This is city property where the rec center stood, the library, and the playground. It's a sense of community, community spirit, and individual homeowners will rebuild when they are able to, but losing the sense of community, people didn't just lose their homes, they lost their memories, they lost their relationships, and this as the focal point and the sense of community would not ordinarily have been prioritized by the Army Corps of Engineers or by FEMA. But we wanted this area prioritized. Working with the Councilwoman, we wanted this area prioritized. We made that request, and that request was granted. And I will tell you, the Army Corps of Engineers are heroes in Los Angeles, are heroes in Palisades. It is amazing to come here day after day. That's right. What they have done here in record speed, every time I come, I see more and more properties cleared, and now we are over 600 properties cleared. I know the Councilwoman was recently in Hawaii, and also other areas that experienced devastating wildfires, and there isn't any other area that has reached this level of progress in such record time. In less than 2 months, water and power back on. In less than 2 months to have so far and so many properties cleared. In other areas, it took 6 months, 8 months, and a year. And so I want to recognize the leadership of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, who will now be moving on to other assignments. Colonel Saucer and Colonel Taus have been entrenched in this effort, and it's because of their efforts that we are on track for the fastest recovering in our state's history. And so I would like to ask the Colonel and the Captain to come forward. We have certificates of recognition and appreciation from the city to present to them.
Oh, wow.
Colonel Saucer.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Were you?
Thank you, ma'am. Wow. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have something else I want to present?
Goodness.
Have to do it the right way.
All right. Thank you. Well done, Mayor. Well done.
Colonel Saucer.
Thank you, ma'am. This is beautiful.
Very welcome.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you. Well done. You got it down.
When you present a challenge coin, you have to slap it. Now, for our Councilwoman Traci Park, your efforts have been phenomenal here. Everybody knows that. We were worried about her for a while because we wasn't sure if she had slept in the first month. And I'm hoping that while you were in Hawaii, you at least took a day off while you were doing the work on behalf of the Palisades. Traci Park.
Oh. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I did just get back from Lahaina last night, and it was a remarkable opportunity to see the work that the Army Corps had done there and the incredible care and thoughtfulness that they have put into the recovery there. It gives us a peek of what's around the corner here in Los Angeles in the Pacific Palisades. And while the work is slow and the process often long and painful, it's hopeful as well. I really want to thank Colonel Brian Sauzer and Captain Sheldon Tosh as the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and their work here on the ground in the Pacific Palisades has been phenomenal. Not only here at the site of our beloved library, but across the entire Pacific Palisades, where now hundreds of lots have been cleared. On behalf of my district, Council District 11, and the people of the Pacific Palisades, I thank you for your service, your professionalism, and your compassion. We look forward to the continued progress with Brigadier General Bill Hannon and Colonel Jeffrey Palazzini. Standing here now, it's not hard to remember how this all began 100 days ago. On January 7th, I was here in the Palisades as flames tore across our hillsides down to our coast. The wind was fierce and strengthening. Streets were jammed with cars trying to get out. Families were racing to pack what they could, and our firefighters were risking everything. My staff was out here soaking down roofs, helping seniors evacuate, loading animals into vehicles, knocking on doors, doing whatever they could. In the days that followed, we learned that lives had been lost. Thousands of homes and buildings, including our beloved library and our rec center and park, were reduced to ash. But even in those early hours, we weren't just thinking about emergency response. We were already preparing for recovery and the journey ahead. When Council reconvened a week after the fire first started, my team and I introduced over 24 pieces of legislation to support the people in the Palisades, from mandating an after-action report to protecting residents from price gougers to securing rent and utility relief and so much more. We worked hand in hand with Mayor Bass, who through her executive orders was able to speed things up and set precedent for achieving things in this recovery in unprecedented time. We worked around the clock to set up emergency shelters, FEMA and Red Cross assistance centers, to activate donation sites and food for first responders. In those first sleepless weeks, my thoughts never left the people whose lives were turned upside down. And amidst the chaos, I was always clear on one thing. Our recovery needed to be community-led and government-supported. We are here to take cues from you, the residents of the Palisades, the people who built lives and businesses in this community. Your input informs the legislative and policy changes we're making, and your continued collaboration is how we will continue to improve as a community and as a city. We know that we have a lot of work to do in terms of expediting things and reducing the barriers that exist to creating pathways to ensure that every person who's been impacted by this devastating fire has the opportunity to come home. This library itself is a symbol of what we've lost, yes, but more so of what we're determined to restore. Recovery doesn't happen overnight, and for the families who lost everything, this is not abstract. It's navigating insurance claims, fighting to get permits, living in limbo, and trying to rebuild from scratch. And that's why we are all laser focused on removing every obstacle standing in the way. We do have a long road ahead, but step by step, we are clearing the way forward. And as long as it takes, I'll be right here fighting for this community, and I know Mayor Bass will be too. Thank you again to the Army Corps and to Mayor Bass, and most of all, to the families of the Pacific Palisades. We see you, we're with you, and we are not about to slow down. Thank you so much.
Let me now introduce John Szabo, who is the general manager for the library system of Los Angeles and has just done a phenomenal job making sure that libraries don't only serve their traditional purpose, but are really focal points in every community. And we will have the best library rebuilt here in Palisades. John Szabo.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Bass, for your leadership and your steadfast support of all of our libraries. You certainly get libraries and understand how important they are, and thank you, Councilmember Park, for all of your efforts and support and for being a library advocate as well. I have to tell you all, it's difficult to stand here today at what was the entrance to the Palisades Branch Library and to think about all of the young people and people of all ages throughout the Palisades and surrounding communities that came in to make use of what was a beautiful, beautiful branch library. But I have to tell you, it's also, with this debris having been removed and with the clearing of this site, there is a sense of hope today and a sense of possibility, knowing what will be built here and knowing about the very innovative, creative, and forward-thinking and life-changing library service that will happen here. I really want to thank, as the mayor did and as the council member did, to thank Colonel Brian Saucer and his entire team at the Army Corps of Engineers. Colonel, you and your entire team have truly been outstanding to work with. Your communications, your professionalism, your sense of urgency, which we so appreciated. I know the mayor appreciated as well. And your appreciation for what the library means to this community was so important. And even with little things that the library needed, like the recovery of several items from this site and the preservation of the 2 trees you see behind me and other trees on the perimeter of this site, you were all about making it happen and making it happen quickly. I think there was a 30-day window to make this happen, and it happened in 6 days. So we were really absolutely so pleased with that. I also today really want to acknowledge our senior librarian, who is a champion and an incredible librarian, Mary Hoff. Thank you for your perseverance and your continued service. And really to the entire staff of this library. They are in libraries in surrounding communities, continuing to serve residents of this community and residents of Los Angeles. And I hear story after story of Palisades residents who make their way into those libraries, who light up when they see familiar faces like Mary's, Roberta Frank, who's with us, and other staff members from the Palisades. I also want to thank Laura Schneider, who is the president and leader of our friends group here, the Pacific Palisades Library Association, and for all of her advocacy, the volunteerism within our friends group here, and all of the support. You've been here from the beginning, and we really appreciate that. Thank you, Laura, for being such a great advocate. We love our friends and volunteers at the LA Public Library. And there are people who are not here today, but who are with our library outreach teams. We very much believe at the Los Angeles Public Library that it's not just about the 4 walls of each of our 73 libraries, but we want to go out into the community to take library service into the community. And so our outreach teams were at the Disaster Recovery Center. They were at shelters, checking out laptops, mobile Wi-Fi hotspots, and helping in other ways. And they stepped forward and have been there since day one. And also just to all of the residents of the Palisades for your resilience, your strength, and for supporting our libraries, and for being excited and having so much energy in thinking about what the library will be. And we want to listen to you and take your lead as we move forward to rebuild this library. Again, thank you so much, Mayor Bass, Councilmember Park, Colonel Saucer, the Army Corps of Engineers, and all wonderful residents of this community. It is wonderful today to be able to look ahead. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Bass, for the opportunity to be here today. It's truly an honor. I'm Brigadier General Bill Hannon, the Commanding General of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers effort here for the California wildfire recovery effort. First, I do want to thank Mayor Bass and Councilwoman Park for your leadership. and partnership, and really the leadership and partnership at so many levels with FEMA, our other federal partners, the state of California, the city, the county, and really down to each and every neighbor is what has been so amazing here and enabled us to go so quick here in this first 100 days. And really across both fire areas, just a few statistics, we have over 4,400 properties cleared. Out of that 4,400, 2,300 fully complete, and we're nearing our 1 millionth ton of debris cleared in 100 days. So just an amazing effort by all of our teams out there working every day of the week to continue to get debris removed and off the properties of every resident out here. I want to introduce now our commander of our Palisades Emergency Field Office. You've seen and heard a little bit about him already, Colonel Brian Saucer. His leadership and commitment to this community has absolutely been unwavering. He'll depart soon, but I do want to let everybody know we're bringing in another great leader and absolutely one of the best commanders in the United States Army, Colonel Jeff Palzini. So there will be no let up on anything as we continue this mission. We're bringing in another great leader to continue that same sense of urgency that Colonel Brian Saucer has had. So thank you very much, and here's Colonel Saucer.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much, Mayor, Council Member. I just really appreciate the partnership and the collaboration in this great endeavor. It's been truly an honor for me personally to play a role in this noble endeavor, this noble cause that we have here in the Pacific Palisades and the greater Palisades fire impact area. I will tell you that I do appreciate the recognition, but naturally something this large, I think this is a team effort. You know, I belong to the team of the United States Army Corps of Engineers, but in order to accomplish something this large, it requires a team of teams. And I could go through a litany of different agencies at the local, the state, and the federal levels that have made this possible. I'd like to thank, from my own vantage point, the hundreds of employees of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers that have rotated through here to make this mission possible. I'd like to thank the thousands of contractors, mostly from the great state of California, that have performed the hard work out here each day, every day, 7 days a week. It's been a great, great endeavor, and we're at the 100-day mark of this disaster. And what gives me hope, and it gives me a great amount of pleasure, is to see a cleared lot like you have behind me here right now. That is a signature for the people of the Palisades that renewal is coming. It's coming, and we're bringing it to you as fast as we possibly can. And it's been an absolute honor to be a part of this great team and this team of teams. And so I'll remember my time here in Los Angeles.
Good.
I look forward to the next time I come to Los Angeles, coming up here to the Palisades and seeing it completely rebuilt.
That's right.
And shaking a few hands with some old friends and new friends that I've made here. So appreciate it very much. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council Member. And thank you, Los Angeles. Thank you.
We can open up for questions now. Yes.
Has there been any estimate about how much it's going to cost to rebuild it and where those funds might come from?
Well, first of all, this is 100% reimbursable by FEMA. I don't know the costs. John, are you aware of the cost? Yeah. We don't have a hard cost right now. Any other questions?
And a timeline for when the rebuilding will start?
Do you want to address this?
Yeah, we're working right now to bring an architectural and engineering team on board so that we can begin the initial conversations about the building program for this facility, and very eager to begin schematic design. And of course, the most important part of all of that is the solicitation of community input. We're also working in collaboration, close collaboration with our friends and colleagues in the Recreation and Parks Department of the city to coordinate a temporary location. And we're committed to that and to be able to provide temporary service out of a temporary location here until we can cut a ribbon on this site to a new library.
Mayor, There's been some skepticism from Angelenos about Haggerty Consulting and the work that they're doing. How would you evaluate their work right now, and what would you tell Angelenos about what they're
Well, first of all, I think it's a little too soon to evaluate their work, but I will tell you that we established a contract with Haggerty, but we are also out to bid with an RFP, and we established that contract so we could be in alignment with the county and also with the state. So the RFP is alive. I imagine they will be applying, but I imagine other companies will be applying too. We did not want to put the city through a long RFP process. We needed a company to get on board right away. Yes?
There's a lot of books that are not here anymore. Will other libraries donate, or will you be buying new books?
Did you hear what he said? Where would the books come from? A lot of books were here.
Yes, certainly we had a wonderful Friends of the Library support group here that donated books and sold books. But for the new collection, for both our temporary location as well as a new location, we'll be purchasing those books, and we work with providers that do that and can assemble what we often refer to as an opening day collection. But that'll be part of the overall project budget.
Happy to take other questions. I do think a number of us will be around for a while if you want to approach us individually. Thank you, everyone.